Hey everyone, welcome back to Train Sim World 5. It has been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, thought I'd jump back in and play some again. We are at Milton Keynes, we're going to drive this Class 350 to Euston. Should be lots of fun, and we've basically got to go now, so let's close those doors. What's our stopping pattern like? Euston only, it's an express one. Cool. Thought I'd double check. Let's get ourselves into forward, and yeah. Power 2 for now. We got the windows open so we can hear those noises. How long are we today? Oh, look at that! Simultaneous departure. We are 8 coaches today. And yeah, we're gonna be doing the 44 miles to Euston very quickly indeed. At least for the second fastest type of train that operates on this section of the West Coast Main Line. The fastest, of course, being the Class 390. Will we see some of those? Yes, there's one right there. That was perfect timing, wasn't it? Wow. But yeah, these don't have accelerate, these 350s. Very good trains. Some of my favourites. Probably, I would say, the best regional trains in the UK right now. Oh, although, Class 745s actually, they, I'd say they're joint first with 745s. Considering their age, considering the age of Class 350s, you know, some of them are almost 20 years old, I think. Maybe some of them are over that, I don't know. Yeah, considering their age, they are still pretty incredible. So, yeah. This section of the West Coast Main Line is one that I have become increasingly familiar with. Until a couple of years ago, I had never used London Euston Station. In fact, it might be less than 2 years. You know, despite having travelled on trains quite a lot in my life, you know, even as a child, St Pancras was always my destination, my London terminus of choice. Having grown up in Leicester makes sense. But yeah, moved to Manchester a year and a half ago, and well, Euston's been my terminus ever since. My terminal. I don't know what the correct option here is for that. So yeah. But yeah, in the past kind of 6 months or so, I have gone to London much more frequently. I've travelled by train much more frequently, in fact, I'd say, outside of work. So yeah, I assume that was Bletchley. Yeah, that was, because we've got the East-West Rail lines that just went over us. We are approaching 110 miles an hour, so we're gonna do our best not to break that limit. That would be an unfortunate thing to do. Yeah, we're gonna eat up this 40 miles or so really quickly. You know, maybe a Pendolino operated by Avanti could do it slightly quicker, but we're talking like 2 or 3 minutes quicker out of half an hour. So yeah, what we really want is the flybys like this one coming up here. Hello. Hello, fellow 350. Oh, that's a 12 car, that one. You don't see many of those about nowadays, I don't think, at least. You're gonna see especially few of those now because the Class 730s are coming in. The Class 730-2s, which are the successor to some of the 350s. Most of the 350s are staying, but some of the 350s are not. They're being replaced by the brand new Aventras, the 730-2s. which I've travelled on a couple of, and you know they're pleasant. They're worthy successors. Oh, don't speed. There we go. We've got a 90 coming up anyway, so we'll just coast for now, and we'll bring our speed down as needed shortly. But yeah, those new trains, they are very nice. I have travelled on a couple of them for a short distance. I think just Harrow and Wealdstone to Euston. Minimum braking will do. Alright, that is 90. Probably just a slightly sharper than usual corner, which, to be fair, for the West Coast Main Line is very normal. That is a very normal occurrence. Yeah, it's for this right-hand turn here. That's what the 90 limit is for. You wouldn't want to be going much faster than that around here, unless, of course, you're in a train that tilts, which is why the Pendolinos are a bit faster than these. But yeah, the West Coast Main Line, it is full of curves. I actually travelled on a section of it yesterday, from... Where did I go from? I did Warrington Bank... Well, okay, Frodsham, but... Frodsham is the correct pronunciation, I think. But, you know, like on the actual West Coast Main Line, Warrington Bank Quay to Preston, and then... It was Preston to Carlisle via Blackburn and, like, the Cecil Carlisle Railway. And then Carlisle back down to Preston via the West Coast Main Line and went home to Manchester from there. On a rail tour. On a rail tour in Mark II coaches, which are old. They were, I mean, you know, they were... Well, we can do 110 again. They were... heavily refurbished and kind of brought back up to, I wouldn't say a modern standard, because they were designed, I think, to look like how they originally did, but they were brought up to, you know, a standard where it would have looked new at the time, I guess, like when they were first introduced. So yeah, that was good fun. And yeah, the West Coast Main Line, the whole thing is, it's very full of curves. Why are we not gaining speed? Why is that? There we go. Okay. Just had to reset where the location, the position of the power brake controller. And, yeah, we appear to be fine again now, so... Cool. We've passed through a couple of the local stations. We've done Bletchley. I think we've done Tring. I think we've gone through Tring. No, that's not a station. I don't know where the station is. Well, I don't know. Either way, we're going through another one in about 1.5 miles. If I had to guess, it's either Chaddington or Leighton Buzzard, but I'm saying that with not much confidence. Yeah, the order of the stations on this part of the West Coast Main Line, I don't know very well. The Trent Valley, the curviest bit, I can do well. You got, what is it, like, Rugby, Nuneaton. Is it Atherstone, Polesworth, or is it... I think it's Atherstone, Polesworth, Tamworth. I don't remember. What is something like that. Once you're north of Tamworth, it's Lichfield, Rugeley, and then I think then you're in Stafford, possibly. What station is this? This is Cheddington. Okay, I was right. I was right. That was Cheddington. I thought so. I did think so. Once we find a passing train, I want to get a selfie. Not a selfie. Well, I suppose it's kind of like the train taking a selfie. But I want to get a picture of like the two trains passing for the thumbnail, because yeah, that would be cool. God, this section of it is straight. Certainly a whole lot straighter than most of the West Coast Main Line. At least the curves make it more exciting than the East Coast, for example. I've always, not always, because I've not really travelled on the West Coast Main Line until the past couple of years, but now that I've been on significant sections of, I'd say, all four of the major, like the four biggest main lines in the UK, the East Coast, West Coast, Midland and Great Western, I think the West Coast is definitely my favourite. Even though it doesn't actually really touch any of the West Coast. It kind of gets near it up in like North Lancashire, South Cumbria, I don't remember exactly where. But it doesn't actually touch it, whereas the East Coast Main Line does for a significant portion of the northern bit of it. But yeah, it is still my favourite out of the four. I suppose HS1 could kind of count as a main line, but it doesn't, you don't really call it a main line because you've got the Southeastern Main Line. Oh, hang on. No, I forgot the buttons to... Okay. I would need to, like... do this, and then this. Yeah, okay. I'll wait for another passing train. There will be another one, so that's fine. Right, we've got another station coming up. I think this one is going to be Leighton Buzzard. If I had to guess, it'll be Leighton Buzzard. We will see if I'm right. No, this one's Tring. Okay. What was the one after Bletchley then? I don't know. Either way, that one's Tring. Cool. I'm going to try and learn the order of them. Oh, hang on. We're speeding a bit. We are speeding ever so slightly. There we go. Now we're fine. Although the game doesn't seem to think we sped because it was such a minor amount, so yeah, I guess we're all good. Got a slight downhill gradient, so I'm actually going to take the power off, let us coast. Yeah, I believe this service is the service that I'm driving. Obviously, the only bit of the West Coast Main Line that's like in this route is from Milton Keynes down to London, which I'm driving the full length of. But I think the service comes from Crewe originally. It's definitely the most express one that London Northwestern Railway does. The Crewe to London's. I think they're hourly. I guess they complement the well, they complement Avanti West Coast services quite well, because they've got a lot of stopping services on the West Coast Main Line. You know, the Birmingham to Liverpool is a stopper. The Milton Keynes, the one that just does Milton Keynes to here, it's actually minimum brake yourselves down to 100. The one that does Milton Keynes to London, that is a stopper. The Tring to London, it's a, you know, semi-stopper. It's definitely not a fast service. But this one's quite a fast service, especially, I guess, south of Northampton. What station was that? Was that Berkhamsted? Yeah, I thought it might be. I thought it might be Berkhamsted. So next will be Hemel Hempstead, I think, and then after that would be Watford Junction. I'm surprised we're not stopping at Watford Junction, you know. I thought all of the, yeah, I would have thought that all of the London Northwestern ones would have stopped at, thingy. Watford Junction, because it's, you know, it's a big place. It's a very big place, but clearly this one doesn't. I'm feel my throat getting drier by the second. There we go. Water has been consumed. Health. Health is wealth. Oh wait, that would have been a perfect thumbnail opportunity, but I just forgot. I just forgot. Oh well. There will be more. It would be cool to get one with the Pendolino passing, actually. If I could get one with a Pendolino and another 350 passing, that would be awesome. That would be very cool. We are not accelerating. There we go. I had to reset the power brake controller again. Right, is this Hemel Hempstead? I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that it is. Yes, it is! Oh, look at that. I'm a genius. Got another one coming up in a mile and a half or so as well. What would that one be? We've had a Cheddington. Is it another one of the Steads? I don't... Oh, King's Langley. It's gonna be King's Langley. That's what it'll be. Maybe I do know these stations better than I thought I did. Maybe I do. Oh, okay, hang on. No, I was too late. I didn't get into position quickly enough. Oh well. Right, this is... Oh, no, it's Apsley. Okay. See, I was right, I don't know them well. I forgot Apsley existed. I bet that next one's King's Langley. Whatever it is, we're definitely approaching the M25 and the Greater London area. Although I suppose Greater London will be south of Watford, so yeah. I know Watford is in Buckinghamshire, I think. There we go, I said I know it, I think. Oh, hello. Okay, hopefully I got one there. I suppose I can use photo mode, can't I? I suppose I can use photo mode. Okay, I bet this one is King's Langley. Yeah! Look at that. I got one right. Let's go. The sad thing about doing a fast service like this is you're not going to have a Pendolino overtaking you, because that would need to happen where the Pendolino's on the fast lines and we are on the up fast, because we're a fast service. So it's definitely a case of like we're fitting between the Pendolinos instead of like alongside them, if that makes sense. Oh, I know this tunnel. Next stop is indeed Watford Junction. Yeah, I recognise this bit. So I think that means we are maybe inside the M25 now? I have to assume we are. We are definitely like 2/3 of the way through the route, almost. Maybe 3/5. We should be more than halfway through in terms of time as well. The station's after Watford. Oh, hello. Here, let's actually try and maybe that could be our thumbnail. We get a freight train in. But yeah, the stations south of Watford Junction, those I would struggle with more. Most of them are just overground only. Here we go, Watford Junction, hello. Station I recognise. No overground trains in the platforms, that surprises me. But yeah, the Watford DC line, or is it the Lioness line? I think it's called the Lioness line now, but I'm not 100% sure. That is going off through the centre of Watford, and will rejoin us. And yeah, most of the stations on there I could not tell you the names of. And then eventually, I know the London Underground uses like that line as well. South of Harrow and Wealdstone. Wealdstone? I don't know. The Wealdstone Raider is a thing. You want some? I'll give it ya. Yeah, I know that's a thing, so maybe it's Wealdstone. No idea what this is. What station this is. Is it Bushy? Bushy. Okay. I was right, I did though. Or I suppose I was wrong because I said I had no idea. But yeah, I digress. That's not the point. Yeah, we're firmly in the Greater London urban area now. Might not be in Greater London yet, but we're definitely in the urban area. I don't know when Buckinghamshire ends and Greater London begins. Somewhere around here. Oh, hang on, don't speed. There we go. We're alright now. We're alright now. Yeah, it's a lot of running at the same speed here. Oh, hello. There's a Class 710 on the London Overground. Watford DC service, or Lioness line, I think it's Lioness line. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm wrong, I'll put a correction in. If I remember. It's not a guarantee. Cannot guarantee that I'll remember. Wow, this station used to have more platforms. Look, this is just completely out of use. Yeah, we've got 11 miles till Euston and 13 minutes to do it in. I don't think we're going to end up late, unless I catastrophically screw up, which, to be fair, I've done in several train sim videos, but hopefully not this one. Hopefully we can have a somewhat perfect run. Speeding by half a mile an hour, I'm not going to count as a mistake. Hello, Pendolino. Right, we've got what I assume is Harrow and Wealdstone coming up. I think it is, because I think I see a tube train. Yes, I do. That is a tube train, Bakerloo line train, so this is Harrow and Wealdstone. A station I've actually been to, because I have taken a Class 730 from this station into London. Oh, that would be a cool addition to this route. If they got 730s in here, that would be very cool. I would enjoy that a great deal. I don't know how easy it would be for them to add, considering it's like the same family of trains as the 710s used on the Watford DC line and stuff. But yeah, like obviously they're quite different trains for being in the same family. Yeah, completely different front end, completely different interior. They can do 110 miles an hour like these, as opposed to the 75 that the Class 710s like that one there are limited to. So, yeah. Right, we've got another station coming up, and I'm going to hazard a guess that that is Wembley Central. That would be my guess. My guess is Wembley Central. I'll know if I'm correct by the time we go through it, because I know what Wembley Central Station looks and feels like. We do have the end of our, oh my god, that is a big lag spike, probably loading Central London. Yeah, we do have the end of our 110 mile an hour running coming up, because that is a 90 limit that I see. Yeah, this is Wembley Central. Big covered station, like a mini Birmingham New Street. Yeah, we're definitely coming into, we're far from central London still. Go a few miles out from what I would consider central London, but, oh, we don't need that. We'll do minimum brake down to 90. This is Wembley Depot. Yeah, we're coming into the inner zones of London. Maybe like zone 4. I don't know. I don't know the zones well. But yeah, down to 90 now, and we're gonna stay there, I think, until we get closer. Oh my god, another lag spike. Until we get closer to Euston. I did brake a little bit early for that, but A, better safe than sorry, and B, we've got 10 minutes to do 6 miles. Which, once again, I don't think we're going to struggle with. You know, we need an average speed of like 40 miles an hour to do that, and we're doing more than double that right now. And we will continue to do more than double that for probably half of the journey into London. So, like half of the remaining journey. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. God, there's a lot of tracks here. I think the, no, actually, they won't have. I think the other lines that the overground and underground are using, I think they're still adjacent to us, but somewhere, just somewhere in the distance, because we've not gone through Queen's Park as far as I can tell. In fact, oh yeah, look, there's a, I think they might be heading off now, I'm not sure. I feel like Queen's Park has platforms that cover like all of the tracks. Oh yeah, no, I see them. Okay, those lines are on our left. They're still with us for now. Nice, bash through some leaves there, and we'll get ourselves down to 85. There we go, that was easy. Yeah, we should have Queen's Park coming up quite soon, considering we're less than 4 miles from Euston at this point. You know, the equivalent in Manchester would be at like Heaton Chapel, which is not far from Piccadilly, so yeah. Is that Queen's Park? Yeah, that's Queen's Park. I recognise the depot. Okay, Queen's Park covers the like the third rail lines and the slow lines, but not the fasts. That makes sense. Right, that is warning us of an upcoming 55 mile an hour speed restriction, which we will of course take note of and brake accordingly for shortly. But yeah, 2.7 miles to Euston. We've got 7 minutes to do it in. Once again, I think we'll be fine. Like, we could crawl at 20 miles an hour for the rest of the journey and we'd still make it there on time. So, yeah. There we go, we've got a little 4-car there, probably off to Tring or Milton Keynes, one of the two. Right, let's get ourselves braking for this 55. We've got, I don't know, half a mile or so to get down to it. That is not going to be a struggle. We can do it at minimum brake, I think. Give our passengers a nice, pleasant, comfortable ride. There we go, that is 55 and a very short platform. No idea what that's about, but hey ho. Very curvy tunnel, this. And what a frame rate, wowee. That is bad. This game feels like it's getting a bit more optimized over time, but it's still not good. Thinking about it, Train Sim World 6 is going to be coming out soon, I think. Should be in the next couple of months, I would assume. Well, hello, that'll be probably a service to crew. Because it's on the fast lines. But yeah, mile and a half to Euston. We are, we're kind of definitely in like inner London now. Let's get ourselves down to 50. There we go. That wasn't difficult. We only had to lose 2 miles an hour. And yeah. Not had to deal with any even yellow signals. We've had greens all the way. Obviously, once we approach Euston, we'll have some yellows because, well, that's how terminal stations work. The end of a station, like of a station where you've got buffers, like the buffers. That would have been the easier thing to say. The buffers, technically constitute a red signal. Obviously, if you breach through the buffers, it's like passing a signal at danger. So you kind of want to avoid doing that. That is definitely something you want to avoid. But yeah, got a 40 and then a 25 limit. Let's get braking for those. There we go. There's our double yellow because we are now 2 signal sections away from Euston. And yeah, look at that. We're going to be coming in 3 or 4 minutes early. Probably about 3 minutes, to be fair. So yeah, as long as we're down to 25 by the next signal, which we certainly will be, we are alright. And that is 25. I'll let us coast. We're going to build up a little bit more speed because we're going downhill. And yeah, it looks like we're coming into platform 16 today. And yeah, that is our 25 limit. And we are at 25 all the way into the platform. Obviously, we'll be good and keep ourselves at a reasonable speed coming in. Definitely got to keep an eye on my speed, given the 1.4% downhill gradient we've got right now. But yeah, I think 16 is one of the highest numbered platforms in the whole station. So yeah. I think there's 17 platforms at Euston. I'm not entirely sure on that. I've not been to Euston that many times. Right. Yes, I think I was right, because this is the second last platform, and this is platform 16, so, yeah. Right, let's get some minimum brake happening as we come into the underground chamber that is Euston Station. Don't want to come in too quickly. Alright, we'll let ourselves come in at this speed all the way. God, we're going about as fast in terms of miles per hour as we have frames per second. Okay, now it's a bit better now. We've got a nice little Pendolino. It's not little. We've got a nice big Pendolino on the platform next to us, 15. That'll have come from somewhere much more exotic than Crewe, almost certainly. Oh, alright, let's get our speed down. Try and stop in the exact right space. We're going to be more than 2 minutes early, which is not bad going for the West Coast Main Line. Right. Cool. Perfect. Let's open those doors on the correct side. And, yeah, you can kind of... We'll get this into max braking, and why won't you let me turn the reverser off? I don't know. I don't know. Either way, let's just take the key out. No, we can't do that either. Okay. That's fine. We'll just get out the cab, ignore the beeping noise, and the lag, and yeah, that'll do. Thanks for watching. Bye!